Imagine this, right? You're maybe at a party or meeting someone new, or perhaps you're just looking for ways to practice your English. What's one of the easiest ways to break the ice? One of the most personal ways. Often it really just comes down to what you do when you're not working or studying. What do you actually do for fun? So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. The art of talking about your hobbies, your free time activities. And our mission really is to give you the phrases, the confidence, everything you need to connect with people, to practice your English in a way that's actually fun, engaging, and just feel comfortable doing it. Think of this as your essential guide, your shortcut, maybe, to handling one of the most common and usually enjoyable conversations you'll have. And, why does this matter so much? Why is it so valuable? Well, because talking about what you genuinely love doing, it's such a direct way to make new friends, to have conversations that are actually interesting. Hobbies are so personal. You already know what you like, what makes you tick. It's not just about grammar practice. It's about sharing a bit of who you are.
Yeah, and that's where a real connection happens, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the key. Okay, so how are we going to unpack all this? We'll start with the basics, the foundational stuff. What actually is a hobby? Getting those simple phrases right.
The building blocks.
Right. Then we'll explore how to add those interesting details, the things that make your answer stand out. And crucially, how to ask other people about their passions too. It's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
And finally, we'll put it all together, see how it works in practice. So to kick things off, let's just define the playground, so to speak. What is a hobby?
Yeah, good starting point.
Well, simply put, it's an activity you do regularly, right? In your free time.
Regularly.
And you do it just for enjoyment, purely for pleasure.
No obligation.
Exactly. No pressure like work or study. And the question you'll hear most often, the one that really opens this door in English is, what are your hobbies?
That's the classic one, yeah. And when someone asks that, you've got some really great, simple ways to answer. You can just say, my hobbies are, and then, list them out. My hobbies are reading and painting. Simple.
Yeah.
Or if there's one thing that really stands out for you, your main thing, you could say, my main hobby is photography, for instance. And beyond just listing, there are two really, really natural ways to phrase it. One is using I like to plus the verb. So I like to read books, or I like to play the guitar,
right.
Or maybe I love to watch movies. I like to listen to music. I like to play soccer. I like to paint. All those work.
Okay, got it. I like to.
Yeah. And the other way, just as good, just as natural, is using I like plus the verb with ing. So that becomes I like reading. I like listening to music. I like playing soccer. I like painting.
Okay. So I like reading or I like to read. Both work.
Both perfect. Totally natural in conversation. Use whichever feels more comfortable. And another really useful one is I enjoy. With this one, you follow it with the verb ending in ing.
Okay. Always ing after enjoy.
Always ing. So you might say, I enjoy hiking in the mountains, or I enjoy cooking new recipes. I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy gardening.
I enjoy gardening. Nice. And sometimes just to sort of frame your answer, a really common and comfortable way to start is, in my free time,
Yeah, that sets the context nicely.
Right. You could say, in my free time, I play video games, or maybe in my free time, I go for a walk. It immediately signals, this is my downtime activity.
Exactly. So just to quickly recap those core options, you've got I like to, you've got I enjoy ending in ing, and you got in my free time, I. Getting comfortable with these simple structures is honestly so helpful. It just immediately makes you sound more confident, more natural when you're speaking.
Okay, so that's the foundation. You got those basic sentences down pat. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Once you have those core phrases, how do you make your answers not just, correct, but actually engaging?
Captivating.
Yeah, how do you add the personality? Exactly, add that spark.
Well, the big secret really is just adding why. Why you like your hobby.
The why.
Yeah, it's such a simple addition, but it completely changes the feel of your answer. You can do it really easily just using because. For instance, I like to paint because it's relaxing.
Okay.
Or I enjoy playing football because it's good exercise. Maybe I like yoga because it's relaxing, or I like taking photos because I can capture beautiful moments. See, it adds depth. And another really good way to explain the why is just describing the hobby itself. Use It's plus an adjective,
Right.
like running is fun. It helps me stay healthy. Or I enjoy drawing. It's creative.
Simple, but effective.
Exactly. And for that really personal angle, you can talk about how it makes you feel. Use I feel. So maybe playing chess is interesting. I feel smart.
Huh, I like that one.
Right. And what's really fascinating here is how just sharing that little bit of motivation, the why or how it makes you feel, it just transforms a plain statement. It becomes a little window into your personality, creates a chance for a deeper connection.
Yeah, it's not just data anymore, it's a story.
Precisely. It's an invitation.
That's a really great point. It does shift the whole vibe. And sort of building on that, another layer you can add is how often you do your hobby.
Frequency.
Yeah, frequency words like always, often, that's maybe 70% of the time, sometimes maybe 40%. Also, usually every day, on weekends, almost every day, once a week, twice a month, those kinds of things. So you might say something like, I sometimes play chess with my grandfather,
Nice detail.
or I go to the gym every day after work.
Yeah.
That shows dedication. You could also say, I usually read before bed, or I play video games with my brother on weekends.
Right.
Other examples, I go for a walk almost every day. I sometimes bake cakes. I often listen to podcasts while I cook. I play cricket every weekend. I go cycling twice a week, or even I read novels before bed every night. It just adds texture.
And don't forget who. Who do you do this hobby with? That's another great layer for connection.
Oh yeah, good one.
You can say by myself or alone or maybe with my friends or with my family. For instance, on weekends, I love to cook with my family. That paints a picture.
Definitely.
Or I enjoy watching movies by myself. That says something too. And I like playing basketball with my friends. Again, these details make it feel more real, more relatable.
Absolutely. And you can also maybe get a little more specific about what kind of thing you do, or maybe where you do it.
Yeah, adding specifics.
Like instead of just, I like reading mystery books at home, or I like listening to pop music on the bus. Very specific. Or maybe I like watching science fiction movies, or I like cooking Italian food on Sundays. But the key thing here, I think, is still keeping it simple.
Totally.
You're not trying to build some huge, complicated sentence. Short, clear, natural. That's the way to go.
Exactly. And maybe we can pull all those pieces together in an example.
Yeah, let's see it in action.
Okay, how about this? In my free time, I enjoy hiking with my friends because the nature is beautiful.
Okay, let's break that down. In my free time, that's the frame.
Right. I enjoy hiking. That's the core activity. Using enjoy plus ing.
With my friends, that's the who.
Because the nature is beautiful. And that's the why.
See, it flows nicely. It gives a complete picture, but it's not complicated.
And what's really powerful there is, like we said, it's a mini story. You're not just stating a fact. You're inviting the listener to imagine you out there enjoying it. That's way more engaging. And, sometimes just thinking about hobbies and categories can help organize your thoughts. A common one is indoor versus outdoor.
Right.
So indoor things might be, I don't know, painting, cooking, playing video games, maybe playing the guitar.
Things you do inside.
Yeah, and outdoor activity. Well, like hiking, playing cricket or soccer, jogging, traveling.
Betcha. It's just another way to think about what you do.
Exactly. And sometimes those categories hint at different benefits, social aspects, physical activity, relaxation.
Okay, so we spent a good bit of time on how you can talk about your hobbies.
Yeah.
Adding detail, making it engaging. But as we said, conversation. It's a two-way street, isn't it?
Absolutely essential. It's not a monologue.
Right. So the real magic, the connection, happens when you start asking other people about their hobbies too. So what are the best ways to ask? The classic, of course, is just, what are your hobbies?
Can't go wrong with that one.
Nope. But you've got other great options too. Like, what do you do for fun? That feels a bit more casual, maybe.
Yeah, I like that one.
Or, what do you like to do in your free time? Very clear. And another one, which feels really friendly and open, is just, do you have any hobbies?
That's a nice, gentle entry point. And then, crucially, once they answer, that's not the end. That's the beginning.
Right. Keep it going.
Exactly. Show you're actually interested. And the way you do that is with follow-up questions.
Okay. Like what?
Well, simple things like, oh, that sounds interesting. How often do you do that? Or, that sounds fun. Who do you normally do it with?
Using those how often and who details we talked about.
Precisely. And of course, asking why do you enjoy it so much, that invites them to share their why.
That really shows you're listening.
It does. It signals genuine curiosity, not just politeness. And these questions, they deepen the conversation, invite them to share more about themselves.
Definitely. And while they're answering, or just after they finish, throwing in a simple, enthusiastic reply really helps too.
Yeah, positive feedback.
Right. Things like, that sounds like a great time, or, oh, how interesting, or even just a simple, cool. It shows you're engaged. Okay, let's try and put this into practice. Let's imagine a little chat, maybe between Alex and Ben.
Okay.
So Alex starts. So Ben, what do you like to do in your free time?
And Ben could say, I really enjoy playing the guitar. I try to practice almost every day.
Alex replies, that's cool. I like listening to music, but I can't play any instruments myself. Why do you enjoy playing guitar?
Good follow-up. Ben answers, well, I love it because it really helps me relax after a long day at work. What about you, Alex? What are your hobbies?
Turning it back around. Alex says, my main hobby is cooking. Especially on weekends, I love trying out new recipes, usually with my sister.
Ben finishes with, wow, that sounds delicious.
See? A nice little back and forth.
Yeah.
Simple but connected. Or let's try another quick one, maybe just A and B.
Okay.
A asks, what do you do in your free time?
B says, I love playing the guitar.
Hey, wow. That's really cool. How often do you play?
B, I practice almost every evening, actually.
Hey, that's amazing. I really enjoy singing. Maybe we could, perform together sometime.
B, hey, that sounds like a fun idea. Yeah.
Again, simple questions, adding details, showing interest. It leads somewhere. So now, it's your turn. Yes, you listening. Time to practice. Think about your own favorite hobby. What is it? How often do you do it? Why do you enjoy it? Maybe who you do it with or where. Just take a moment. Try saying it out loud right now. Use one of those sentences we learned.
Go on.
Like, I enjoy. Or, in my free time, I like to. Just saying, it helps lock it in. The more you vocalize it, the more natural it'll feel.
And, if you want to sound more confident when you're actually in that conversation talking about your passions, here are maybe 3 quick tips.
Ooh, good idea. Tips for confidence.
First, just smile and try to relax. Seriously, people love hearing about what makes others happy. Your enthusiasm, it's infectious, so don't be shy about it.
Good point. Let the joy show.
Second, use simple words. Keep it simple. The sentences we've talked about today, they are perfect. You absolutely do not need fancy vocabulary or complex grammar to connect with someone. Simple and clear is best.
Less is more.
Definitely. And third, practice daily. Just a little bit. Try saying one sentence about your hobby every single day. Like just to yourself, my favorite hobby is drawing, or I enjoy reading before bed. Why does that tiny bit of practice make such a difference? Well, it basically builds those neural pathways. It makes retrieving those phrases automatic over time. That's how you build real fluency and that feeling of confidence.
I love that. Small steps, big impact. Okay, so here's your challenge for this week.
Wow.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Find just one person this week. Could be anyone, a friend, a colleague, maybe someone new you meet, and ask them one of those questions. What do you like to do in your free time? Or do you have any hobbies? Then really listen to their answer. Show that interest. And then try to share just one sentence about your hobby using what we learned today. Just one sentence.
You can do it.
Absolutely you can. And, well, that pretty much wraps up our deep dive today on talking about hobbies. We've covered quite a bit, actually. How to ask the questions. How to answer using those simple, really effective sentences like, I like to, and I enjoy.
Yeah, the core structures.
Yeah. And how to make your answers richer, more personal, by adding details, the why, the how often, the who with. The goal really is just to help you sound natural, feel confident, and most importantly, make those genuine connections. So please, take this knowledge and, use it. Try that practice challenge this week. We'd love for you to feel more comfortable sharing your hobbies using these sentences.
And maybe just as a final thought to leave you with, something to mull over. Think beyond just using hobbies as a conversation starter. What deeper role do your hobbies actually play in your life, in your well-being, your self-expression? How do the things you choose to do for fun truly make you feel? And what does that feeling perhaps say about who you are as a person?
Ooh, that's a deep one. Food for thought. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Keep practicing, keep exploring those conversations, and keep connecting.
Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more English learning videos. See you in the next lesson.